In the headlines, many killed, houses burnt in fresh Niger attack as residents flee to forest. NDLEA arrests 3 trans-border traffickers with 48,000 tablets of tramadol. And on the foreign scene, United States report that 2,000 children aged between 10 and 17 years recruited by Yemen's Houthis died fighting. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. I am Martia Umar. Now the news in details. Dozens of people have been reportedly killed with many houses burnt as bandits in their numbers overran security forces' operation base and launched a fresh attack on Galadi Makogo and Kalkogo communities of Shiroro local government area of Niger State on Saturday evening. Trust TV's Abubakar Akote gives us an update.
The Saturday attack on Galadi Makogo, Shiroro local government area of Niger State led to the death of dozens of residents. The chairman Shiroro local government area, Suleiman Dauda Chukuba, confirmed the attack. He described the incident as a tragedy, saying that so far the exact number of casualties have not been established. He said 11 bodies have so far been recovered, while 9 persons who sustained serious wounds injury were taken to hospital for medical attention. He said the bandits in their numbers overran security base in Galadi Makogo and other neighboring communities and moved from houses to houses, killing innocent residents. According to Suleiman Chukuba, hundreds of residents have also fled their homes, with some moving towards Minna, the state capital, while some have taken refuge in Sarkin Power, Munya local government area of Niger State. Also confirming the incident, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Emmanuel Umar, said the state government was already strategizing to take back the affected communities from the hand of bandits. Although residents told Trust TV that on Sunday morning, the attackers were still seen roaming the communities as no evidence of security presence. Due to no evidence of security presence, Trust TV gathered that the attack was launched few hours after a partial withdrawal of security operatives in the area for enforcement in Kontagora, Moshogo, and Mariga local government areas of the state, who have so suffered series of banditry attacks in the last 1 week. Communities, residents called on the government, federal, state, and local government to come to their aid and provide adequate securities as they are no longer having peace in their communities.
Meanwhile, the spokesperson of the Youth Association in the state, Jibrin Alawa, said the attack occurred on Saturday. Alawa said that about 200 persons invaded the village on motorcycles, holding different kinds of weapons and shooting sporadically, and razed many houses and burnt down a vigilante camp in the village. Reports say the bandits have been targeting the village but had been foiled by the vigilante group, but took advantage that the vigilantes were mobilized to Kotongwara for a special assignment about 4 days ago to attack before attacking the community. Bandits in the early hours of Sunday invaded Atakmawe ward in Zaman Dabo village in Atiap chiefdom of Zangon Kataf, local government area of Kaduna State, and killed about 10 persons. Report says the attackers stormed the village around 3 a.m. and burnt houses. However, there is no official casualty figure, but residents say at least 10 people were killed during the attack, while several others sustained injuries. The bandits invaded the community when the villagers were fast asleep and entered house to house to kill the villagers. One soldier has been reportedly killed while 2 others fatally wounded in an attack by gunmen in Rivers State. The chairman of Akukutoru local government area, Roland Sekibo, who visited the scene, confirmed that the soldiers were ambushed. According to report, the attack happened in the early hours of Sunday at the boundary between Asari Toru and the Emohua local government areas of the state, where some gunmen ambushed the soldiers close to Ahiankwo market and shot at them, killing and injuring the reported victims. Sakubo noted that the 2 soldiers that were injured were in critical condition. Meanwhile, the Public Relations Officer of the State Police Command, DSP Grace Iwinge Koko, said she has gotten hint of the development but needed to confirm its validity. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 3 trans-border drug traffickers trying to smuggle 48,000 tablets of 225 mg tramadol through Mubi in Adamawa to Cameroon Republic. The NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi stated this in a statement on Sunday. The suspected traffickers, Muhammad Husseini, who is 32 years old, Adamu Bella, who is 18, and Muhammad Umar, 18 years old as well, were arrested at Samia Junction, Madanya Road in Mubi on Friday and claimed the drugs were being taken to Bagira town along the Nigerian-Cameroon border to be delivered to some Cameroonians. Similarly, over 1,200 packs of imported loud weighing about 1,500 kilograms were intercepted in raids across Lagos and Edo. In another raid at Surualaba, at Jeremy Ifelodun local government area of Lagos, NDLEA operators arrested Ibrahim Musa, who's 25 years old, with 18,530 tablets of tramadol, Roinol, diazepam, Exo 5 and 138 bottles of codeine, as well as at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos, interception of a consignment of 22 international passports of 6 countries concealed in a bag of gari and other food items. And Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, says illegal crude oil refinery operators are causing great health hazard to residents in the state and destroying the national economy, which his administration will not tolerate. Governor Wike made the declaration when he received on courtesy visit the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, at the state's government house in Port Harcourt. The report.
The governor told the Chief of Defense Staff the importance of war against illegal crude oil refinery activities because the proceeds from the oil and gas sector sustain the country. He said all hands must be on deck. It doesn't matter whichever faction everyone may be. What is important is everybody, especially security agencies, must come together to defend any of the national assets.
My problem is the willingness of security agencies to completely support this operation. So if they can completely, because whether you like it or not, the security agencies are involved. I am ready to give them the logistic support, everything, but sincerely, let them fight this fight. My happiness is that the GOC are giving me the assurance that it's going to fight it to the last. They're giving me that assurance that it's coming here to fight crime, and particularly this crime of oil and gas. So the way he spoke to me, I feel confident. If this is the only war they have succeeded to fight, it is to our credit. It is to our credit.
Governor Wike assured that his administration will not spare any meaningful measure that can be deployed to stem illegal crude oil refinery activity in the state.
Look at the way the level of crime has been reduced in the state. It's because nobody has politicized the issue of security, unlike what you used to do in those days in my state. Instead of fighting crime and criminality, they politicize it. I can assure you, when I give somebody assurance, when I tell you I will do something, anybody who knows me knows I'm going to do it. So I'm going to give them every support. This fight, we will not allow it, we cannot end it. I have declared this fight as a war against terrorism. I will treat them more than Boko crime. Because they are stealing our economy and killing our people.
Chief of Defence Staff General Lucky Irabor said he is in Port Harcourt as part of the tour of military formation in the Niger Delta to assess security strategies and to also motivate officers for greater efficiency. General Irabor expressed delight over audacity shown by the Rivers State Governor in championing the fight against illegal crude oil refinery activities that have been a great threat to the oil and gas industry.
What it helps us to do is to garner the kind of support that we have always advocated, not just within the government circles, but of course beyond the government and reaching out to the people. For us on our part, which is actually part of the reason why we undertake the operational activities, is to see that the objectives of our operational engagement are achieved. And going forward, I believe that this will help to build a partnership that is required in synergy amongst not just the armed forces, but of course all security agencies and other stakeholders in the view to enabling us to, of course, the nation in general.
Recall that Governor said in his meeting with traditional rulers and other stakeholders had warned that nobody indicated as operator of illegal refinery will escape the full wrath of the law.
You're still watching Trust TV News Updates. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at scores of Chibok schoolgirls yet to return to their parents. Do stay with us.
On behalf of the founder, management and staff of Al-Istiqama University, Sumaila Kano wishes to felicitate with His Highness Emir of Gaya, Alhaji Dr. Aliyu Ibrahim Gaya, on his official coronation as the third Emir of Gaya Emirate. We pray that Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give His Highness wisdom and good health to serve and steer Gaya Emirate to greater heights. Allah ya ja zamanin sarki. Sign, Honorable Suleiman Abdurrahman Kawu Sumaila, OFR, Marathon Rano.
From all around the world,
our news is factual and concise,
giving you fresh news as it breaks.
Nigerians in the diaspora have decried the unavailability of Nigerian passport booklet.
One tricycle rider feared death while 6 others are critically injured after a moving train hit.
When I sit on the news desk every day,
there's a deep sense of responsibility that overwhelms me.
A responsibility to deliver a message to our viewers
in the most professional way possible. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
You're still watching Trust TV News Update, but before we proceed, let's take a look at our top stories. We told you that dozens of people have been reportedly killed, with many houses burned as bandits in their numbers overrun security forces' operation base and launched a fresh attack on Galadi, Makogo and Galukogo communities of Shiroro local government area of Niger State on Saturday evening. And the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 3 transported drug traffickers trying to smuggle 48,000 tablets of 225 mg tramadol through Mubi in Adamawa to Cameroon Republic. And moving on to other stories, Nigeria recorded an uptick in daily COVID-19 cases on Saturday, with 89 new infections confirmed in 8 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, published the new cases in its updates for January 2022, with 70 persons confirmed to have recovered from the infection on Saturday. A total of 228,702 people have now been discharged across the country, with 1 death, which puts the current fatality toll at 3,135. Saturday's figure is a 23.6% rise over the past 24 hours. 72 new cases were confirmed on Friday. Meanwhile, a total of 253,001 persons have now contracted COVID-19 across Nigeria, but the number of active cases currently stands at 21,183. Kibaku Area Development Association, a group of concerned indigents and residents of Chibok community in Borno state are calling on President Muhammadu Buhari and Nigerians at large to save them from annihilation of Boko Haram terrorists. The group who made the call during a press conference in Abuja noted that they continue to suffer attacks since the first abduction of over 276 schoolgirls from the community in 2014. Trust TV's Sagir Ibrahim has details.
While talking about some of the challenges the community has been facing, the president of the Kibako Area Development Association, KADA, Dauda Ilia, also gave statistics of the number of Boko Haram attacks and casualties sustained since 2014.
We have tallied about 72 number of attacks within this period under review. Approximately, this is just an approximation, 407 people have been killed in Chibok. Abductions are over 332. Houses and businesses that have been burnt are unquantifiable. Churches, we have counted through the missions over 20. Vehicles that have been destroyed or taken away are also unaccountable. Grains burnt or destroyed, unquantifiable.
He also sought synergy between the government and security agencies as one of his recommendations.
We're asking the government to seek for support, to synergize with our security forces in confronting this menace so as to end the sustained carnage on our people. By so doing, we believe, we expect our remaining 110 daughters that were abducted in April 2014 and numerous others subsequently abducted, like the ones I told you in Kautika, in PME, to be brought back to us. We appeal to the federal government to immediately set up an IDP camp in Chibok town and provide Chibok with a skills acquisition center so as to avoid imminent hunger and starvation in Chibok. We request the federal government to order deployment of more military personnel as well as better arms to Chibok to halt the continuous attacks on our community.
Dauda explained that the community, which predominantly relies on farming to survive, can no longer do so due to the series of attacks by terrorists.
Chibok is predominantly agrarian, and in the whole of the year's harvest, have been lost to these attacks in January. Deliberately targeted and posing serious food security concerns in the community. We call on all well-meaning Nigerians, and Mr. President in particular, who is the Commander-in-Chief, to rise up to the occasion and urgently save our people from total annihilation and starvation.
Sagir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
In another development, first-class Emir of Gaya community, Ali Ibrahim, has been presented for the staff of office nearly a year since ascending the throne. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that hundreds of people, including the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Abubakar III, attended the coronation ceremony. His report.
Governor Abdullahi Ganduje presenting the staff of office shortly after the official turbaning ceremony of Alhaji Aliyu Ibrahim as the first-class Emir of Gaya Kingdom. Alhaji Aliyu Ibrahim is the third first-class Emir of Gaya and the second since the creation of additional emirates in Kano by Governor Abdullahi Ganduje in 2019 to, among other things, bring development closer to the people through traditional institutions.
The striking things that personally made me happy about the appointment of His Highness Alhaji Ibrahim Gaya were the praises and accolades showered on Kano State Government and the Gaya Kingmakers for the wise and apt choice of this new Emir. Your Eminence, our respected royal fathers, the euphoria that greeted the emergence of His Highness Alhaji Aliyu Ibrahim Abdul Qadir as the third first-class Emir of Gaya Emirate is a testimony to the fact that Kano State government has got the right person to work for the progress of our state and the nation at large.
While receiving the traditional symbol of authority, the Emir assured that he will work towards ensuring justice in accordance with the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and asked the people to continue to remain peaceful. I want to assure the people of Gaya Emirate that I shall do my best to ensure the protection of their interest. I shall work hard to ensure justice to all, regardless of their political, religion, or economic class. Meanwhile, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, congratulates the Emir while commending the commitment of Kano State government for placing emphasis on improving the state's traditional institutions. I wish to congratulate my brother, the Emir of Gaya, for witnessing this day. I assure you we will always offer to you a meaningful advice. I therefore urge you to fear God and lead the people with good intention. Prior to his appointment as first-class Emir of Gaya Emirate, back in 2021, Alhaji Aliyu Ibrahim was the Chiroma of the new created kingdom. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
The founder of the Joint Professionals Training and Support International Incorporated, Christopher Imomole, has declared intention for presidential candidate in the upcoming 2023 election. He stated this on Saturday at the Women's Center Auditorium, Abuja. He said part of his agenda is to engage and empower youths, moving away from the politics of underage the Nigerian youths. Trust TV's Fatima Musa reports.
Professor Imomole, during the declaration, highlighted some of his agenda to salvage the country, which, in line with his campaign mandate, raises concern how a country can survive without adequate welfare for its citizens, while Nigerians deserve to live a respectable life.
Many of the industry and the sector in Nigeria are being monopolized. So one of the things we are going to do is to rejig the investment policies in Nigeria to encourage investors, because the truth is this: investors are actually the drivers of the economy. We now live in a country whereby even Nigerians are afraid to invest in Nigeria because we have a very bad business environment and investment. That is why other West African countries are catching on some of our poor policies in Nigeria, inconsistent as I may see it. So we are going to be looking at that, and believe me, in our time, we ensure that these policies are reframed to attract and give incentive and motives for those who truly want to come into Nigeria and make Nigeria a better place.
Christopher said he believes that Nigeria will become a better place, emphasizing the country's resources if its wealth is utilized and corruption tackled.
Since 1960, Nigeria is still ranked underdeveloped and developing nation. Yet we have the resources to make this nation one of the best nations in the world. Nigeria is rich, but our wealth lies in the pocket of corrupt leaders. Nigeria is rich, yet the motivation needed by the youth to grow and become the best in the world is not given.
He also attributed insecurity in the country as a major cause to the slow pace of the country's development, particularly banditry in the northwest.
Every time there's a security challenge, there are people always sponsoring those kind of challenge. The insecurity in the north, we all know that it is a sponsored attack on the nation, and what is needed to be done is a sincere analysis to ensure that those who are involved are identified and they are made to face the law. We don't need to start playing around it. If we continue to do that, we continue to lose souls in this country. My call on the youth is this: we have over 60% active youth in Nigeria, and the youth need to believe in youth, because one of the biggest challenges we see is everybody says we want the young Nigerians to forge ahead and come in for this position. I have made myself available because I believe I have what it takes. I have over the years been engaged in private business. I have built empires that have supported millions of Nigerians, and this is the right time. So all the youth should get their PVC. They should not just complain on social media. This is the right time for us to know that we have it to be done now, and we should come out to make it done.
Professor Imomalen urged Nigerians to get their permanent voters card to vote the right leaders. Fatima Musa, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in business news, prices of Nigeria's burning light on Saturday surged further to $91.38 per barrel from $90.31 per barrel recorded the previous day, indicating an excess of $29.38 against the $62 per barrel benchmark of the nation's 2022 budget. Reports say the leap in the price is attributed to a combination of factors, including the decline in oil inventory due mainly to rising demand driven by reopening of businesses after many months of coronavirus lockdown. Consequently, Nigeria, which budgeted to produce 1.8 million barrels daily and between 300,000 to 400,000 barrels of condensate, which also attract high premium like burning light, expect to generate much revenue into its excess crude account, a special account established to hold all revenues in excess of budgeted benchmark. Meanwhile, there are fears that the rising crude price could push a petrol subsidy to about $16 billion per day. And on the international scene, United Nations said nearly 2,000 children recruited by Yemen's Houthi rebels have died on the battlefield, and the group is sourcing key components for weapon system for companies in the Middle East, Europe and Asia. UN, in an annual report to the Security Council circulated on Saturday, said they have found evidence that the Houthis used several summer camps and a mosque to disseminate their ideology and recruit children to fight Yemen's internationally recognized government, which is backed by a Saudi-led coalition. According to the panel, it received a list of 1,406 children recruited by Houthis who died on the battlefield in 2020 and 562 child soldiers killed between January and May 2021. The experts denounced the use of child soldiers in a 7-year conflict and called on all parties to refrain from using schools, summer camps and mosques to recruit children, as well as recommended imposing sanctions in those who do so. And that wraps up the news updates on Trust Television at this hour. Remember to follow us across all our social media platforms for more updates. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching.